Hello, how you doing? Welcome to Coffee Chat with Angie, episode number 6, where we talk about the eco-friendly ideas fighting against the shitstem of the bully dozer. Hey, what's going on? Okay, so today, episode 6, we are talking about the reason Emperor Haile Selassie is the Lion of Judah of Revelations 5:5. First of all, along the lines of a disclaimer, I am not a Bible scholar, but I am interested in the subject, and that can at times affect my craft. From here, I must say I needed Haile Selassie first, and that led me to the familiar Bible. One book about Rasta showed me the conversion wheel. In each corner of the conversion wheel, we have first cannabis, then that takes you to the next corner, your new religion, then that takes you to your next corner, Haile Selassie, who takes you back to the Bible, which only brings you back to cannabis. The moral of the context of the cover to cover reading of the Bible, Revelations chapter 22. For the healing of the nations. And it's available all year, and it's a plant of renown, the cup of salvation and the breath of the nostrils of the Lord in Tiferet. Jah is within, And that will is a spiral, the all now. So this is the key difference between the Jan Sway perspective and the Bible scholars' perspective. They are who you and I go to learn what it says, the how, the why, so we can be more accurate. A witch is always learning and so adapting, like a growing ganja plant, the tree of life, the friend that sticks closer than a brother. A witch can choose any deity, and I went with Mary and Jesus, and of course Haile Selassie. And I work with St. Michael and other such and such. Why is Haile Selassie the Lion of Judah? Remember, all gods were created by the hands of mankind. Well, what does the mostly fiction legend say then? The apocalypse genre, Middle Eastern lore concerning every day after the alleged resurrection of Jesus, as legend goes, as a genre, says in the Lion of Judah would open the 7 seals, that he would come and go like a thief in the night, that all over the world he would be known as the Lion of Judah. With the new invention of radio, TV, and much, much more flooding in, the day of information, indeed, Haile Selassie was thusly known by that title and many more titles and honors, including a doctorate in law. The Lion of Judah, a title given to all the kings of the 3,000-year-old dynasty in Ethiopia. But Selassie, and only Selassie, identifies with the timing in the wake of the many new inventions for the human race, the day of information and such technologies. Modernity today. It had been long believed worldwide that Jesus would come again these days to the benefit of the Muslim people. Even the Christians would, and have, and still do, some do, believe that. But, of course, to the benefit of the Christian people. Everyone's legend says he will be for the benefit of the people from which the legend came to be. The Hindu believe a new avatar will come. But what about the fact that this is the day of information that explains, or better said, presents the solution? World peace and a new focus of attention, or some of the with some of the real issues, like living one with the earth as a dominant and most populated species on the planet, balance, new priorities. Like Haile Selassie said, until the philosophy that holds one reigns superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. And he said, and until that day, the dreams of lasting peace, world citizenship, and the rule of international morality will remain but a fleeting illusion to be pursued and never attained. Selassie said, world citizenship and international morality. We see this today in Israel, the war with Hamas 2024. How would history tell if we just let the UN handle it in our support here in the USA in the first place? And with the support of Israel, how would it have turned out? But before an assembly, and so Haile Selassie, before an assembly of the League of Nations and the UN, pleaded the case of Ethiopia. The U.S., you can see the U.S. pleading their case and Israel pleading their people's case. If you don't like it, plead your case before, and handle this on an international level. The point is that whereas the Bible scholars are about what the writers of the Bible meant, who they were, maybe why they said it, etc., but in the Yan Sui, we are more interested in both the story, which is mostly fiction, and thought forms and such crystallizations from Keter, the thought realm of the humans, where we call the within. After what I have learned from scholars, all gods, like it says in the Witch's Magical Handbook, all gods are created by the hand of mankind. Not an imaginary being in the sky coming down from a bunch of light, like headlights or something, but rather Jah, as I call God, Jah being short for the tetragram, fire, water, air, and earth, where we connect within from our creative forces within. Jah, the heartbeat, the four winds. So, who is the Lion of Judah? Yes, it's Haile Selassie, the next advent of the demigod in the wake of the need for both the Lion of Judah and an exemplar, an ensign for the people to follow as a planet. Higher loyalty to our world citizenship and morality, because our religions and legends are elitist, and therefore too egocentric and not enough eco-centric. No time for war. We must refocus our energy. The idea of an elite whose God is the only true one should call all the shots is an out-of-date idea. They hear more details about how Haile Selassie opened the 7 seals. No, I'm sorry, not they. Wait, did that make sense? No, if you want to hear more details about how Haile Selassie opened the 7 seals, go to my playlist, The Lion King. So, the legend says only the Lion of Judah can open the seals. After knowing that, it simultaneously puts its stamp of approval on Haile Selassie as a point of reference for time, chronology. So, only now can we begin to interpret what it all means, the genre. To know more, see my playlist called The Lion King on my homepage on the Rostowitch channel. And it is on the Spiral Times. Psalm 87, he would be born of Ethiopia. Revelations 3:12, he would have a new name that means Jah, the tetragram within us all. Psalm 68, he would be given a golden crown, which is why and establish Ethiopia. which is why the Romans put a crown of thorns on Jesus, to mock him, not that he didn't fulfill all the prophecies. They knew not of Haile Selassie in the future. Some of that would happen with the Lion of Judah, who is the rider of the white horse, and Hitler, the rider of the red, who had the spear of destiny in his hand. Again, see my playlist called The Lion King on my homepage. So yeah, Selassie is like the Lorax. He came and went like a thief in the night, with one word unless. International morality, world citizenship first, then national. But the thought forms from past lives, the issues from the apocalypse genre, crystallize into a narcissistic power struggle, and toxic people are egocentric. The real power of the ant colony is each individual ant, not the queen. But the leader does play an important part too. But the lifestyles of the army is the power of the queen. So the Bible gets just real enough to form a finger pointing at Selassie, then ceases to be the word of God, but rather a book of legends. Legends from which a witch might find good correspondences for his or her magic. The tarot deck is much, much more a thing nowadays, not some crazy medieval text called the Bible. The end of those times are now, the spiral times. So the best evidence of all this is positivity, the relevance. Quote, that until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes, end quote. That was Haile Selassie in Bob's Song War, which was his speech before the League of Nations, June 30th, 1936, a spark to start World War II. So yeah, it only matters to a point what the actual authors of the text meant in the genre. What matters is how to adapt so we can take the next step in the step-by-step of life. One day at a time. Time is needed. The scientist is always adapting and the witch learning. We first, Keter in the Sephirot of the Kabbalah, create with thoughts. Then, step by step to number 10, it becomes a legend, established in 1975 in the apostasy.